Joining us now to talk about the season of creation is Dan Misleh, the Executive Director of the Catholic Climate Covenant. Dan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
For those who've never heard of the Catholic Climate Covenant, could you talk to us about it and how long you've been around, how long it's been around, and how the mission is?
Yeah, we've been around for over 19 years now. Started in 2006 with the idea that so many Catholics in our country are unaware of Catholic teaching on the environment or on the issue of climate change. So in 2001, the bishops wrote a statement, the U.S. bishops wrote a statement on global warming. And I started this organization with some help from the Bishops' Conference in 2006. So we've been at it for quite a while.
So Dan, the season of creation started at the beginning of this month and it goes until October 4th, which is St. Francis's feast day. And before I get to my question for you, I wanted to point out that we do have a St. Francis candle here on set from Corda Candles. It's called Pavarello, and it includes scents of stone, cypress, and earth. So anyways,
I thought I was smelling that.
Yes. So I just wanted to point that out because we are big fans of St. Francis of Assisi. So I wanted to ask you though, but when did this tradition of the season of creation start?
Well, the season itself started not too long ago. I'm thinking about 10 years ago. I could be wrong on that, but it really started in 1989 with the Orthodox Ecumenical Patriarch Demetrios. He designated in 1989 September 1 as the World Day of Prayer for Creation, and Pope Francis took that up and made it an annual event. And then shortly after that, or maybe at the same time, he said, "Why don't we make this a feast of or a season of creation?" So from, as you said, from September 1 until the Feast of St. Francis on October 4th.
And talk about some of the pilgrimages that are taking place throughout the United States during the season of creation.
Yeah, one of the things that we did with 21 other National Catholic partners is to develop this program called the Pilgrimages of Hope for Creation. So we're taking the theme of the Jubilee year, Pilgrimages of Hope, and tying in the 10th anniversary of Laudato Si and the 800th anniversary of the Canticle of Creation by by St. Francis, rather. And so we have been working through the spring and summer to encourage local leaders to gather folks to have a pilgrimage, and a pilgrimage of hope for creation. And so what we're encouraging them to do is to move from one place to another. It could be a place of extreme beauty. It could be a place of environmental devastation, and to reflect on the goodness of God's creation. And if you're visiting a place where it's not so clean or healthy, on our complicity in that, and what can we do as people of faith to reverence creation much more carefully than what we have been doing in the past.
So Dan, you mentioned Laudato Si, and that was Pope Francis's encyclical. And in that, he does talk about the dangers of greenhouse gas emissions. So I'm curious what you say to Catholics who aren't convinced that they should care about the amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere.
Well, I think there's less convincing to be done these days. Everyone is being impacted by the warming planet, which is what happens when you burn fossil fuels. That's the primary driver of climate change, of a warming planet. And so in many places we're experiencing these extreme heat events, extreme rain events. We have fires in the West. We have massive hurricanes that are being accelerated by climate change in the Southeast. And so there's and even I live in Maryland, and even in Maryland we're experiencing these storms that are supposed to come once a century are now coming once every 10 years, in some cases once every few years. And so everybody is experiencing this. We're finding that property insurance rates are going up because of it. So it's no longer a matter of trying to convince people. It's really a matter of, now what do we do? How do we reduce emissions? How do we prepare for what's coming? And frankly, in some places, what's already here.
And tell us, Dan, if you could, about the new program from the Catholic Climate Covenant called CathCAP.
Yeah, we started this program several years ago and finally launched it in the spring. It's really an attempt by us to provide an opportunity for Catholic parishes or schools, dioceses, any Catholic institution, or any Catholic individual to put some funds into a pot. So if it's, for example, excuse me, if it's for a parish, let's say St. Mary's Parish, then everybody in the parish would contribute to that fund. And the way you contribute to that fund is you look at your travel, and that's primarily airplane travel or car travel. And there's a calculator within CathCAP.org, the website. And so you can say, if I'm flying from Washington, D.C. to Chicago, that's going to be $20. And so I would turn over, with a credit card, $20 to St. Mary's CathCAP fund. And at the end of a year, what we're hoping people will do with those funds is to do something for the parish that would reduce or draw down emissions. So it could be a tree planting, it could be sealing up windows and doors. So you have a ready fund available to you to do those types of projects.
That's awesome. So Dan, I'm curious too how you see Pope Leo as having continued and will continue on with Pope Francis's mission of caring for creation, because from my vantage point, it seems like he really does care about it, and especially the time that he spent at Village Laudato Si, he seems like he wants to carry the torch.
Yeah, certainly. And, it's not just from St. Francis. It's from John Paul II, Benedict XVI. It goes back a long ways. This goes back to Genesis, right? I mean, this is part of our tradition. We just need to recover that tradition and carrying it on. So I'm not surprised at all that Pope Leo has taken the torch and run with it. He's already sent out this massive creation, a new liturgical Eucharistic rite that we can now use. It still needs to be translated officially into English, but there's a sample that's available. So I'm not at all surprised that he's carrying on this legacy, because we're in trouble. We have to begin to see that we are part of creation, not apart from creation.
There's so many good programs that you have. Where can people learn more about the resources that Catholic Climate Covenant offers?
Well, I encourage people to go to our website, CatholicClimateCovenant.org. They can see all of the things that we do. We have education. We organize groups. We have youth and young adult ministries that we now conduct. We even have a Catholic Energies program where we're helping Catholic institutions adopt solar and do energy efficiency work. So lots of good resources on our website. So I encourage people to go there.
Great. Right. That was great, Dan. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.